What's up guys, it's Gabe Dart. Today's tutorial, we're going to play with lasers. Alright, let's start by opening up Photoshop. And we're going to go ahead and title this one Laser. It's going to have a width of 1080, height of 1350, with a resolution of 300. Color mode is going to be RGB. We're going to go ahead and grab that photo, which I have linked in the video description. And we're gonna go ahead and scale this and bring it up, center it here. This way, with this photo, I think it has a good composition of the clouds in the background and with the hill, and then the foreground here. It's gonna be set up for that laser effect. Gonna hit the check mark or click enter when photo's good. And we're going to convert to smart object via copy. This way, the photo, the image source content, which all its original characteristics, enabling you to perform non-destructive editing to the layer. All right, then we're gonna open up Camera Raw Filter or Shift Command A. And this is basically like Lightroom inside Photoshop. If you click on the basic option here, you can use the slider, change the temperature so it's more of a cool feel or a warm feel. Change the tint, highlight those greens, or the blue, which I'm going to be focusing on this photo. Kind of just like a cool, nighttime, moody feel. I'm going to go through and change the exposure, some highlights, the whites. Feel free to pause the video and write down or copy these numbers if you're editing the exact same photo or going for that mood as well. However, just play the sliders and try to find the right fit for your photo. You can go and edit the curve here, and this really helps for bringing that nighttime feel. You can change the darkening points, the highlights up here in the right-hand corner. As you can see, we have rings. At the top we have like a RGB, basically the red, green, and blue. I'm gonna click on the blue one because that's like I said, the feel we're going for. We're gonna drop that, raise it up. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go for a little bit of an S curve here to highlight some of the blue tones. Give it that cool feel. Alright, change the highlights. Again, you can just pause the video and take down those numbers if you are doing the same photo. There we go. Okay, so the main effect to really draw the eye of the viewer is the vignette. So drag this in. That's looking pretty good. All right, I think that's all we're gonna do here. Make sure that's labeled background. And you can see the before and after. Quite a difference with the Camera Raw filter there. All right, we're gonna open a new layer and name it Main Laser. And we're gonna create that shape here. And we're gonna start with the brush. I'm gonna select the hard brush and use the size to 5, just a little bit larger. But to create the shape, we're gonna use the pen tool. You just click and hold Shift will make the line straight. Just gonna eyeball where you'd like that shape to be. I'm gonna go with the angle of this hill as well. And if you right click using the pen tool, go down to stroke path, we're gonna make sure that the brush is selected. So this is gonna use the brush that we just created with the white. And there you go. But now it has that blue line because that was the shape We're gonna right click, delete path, and now we have the shape. All right, that's looking good. You go to the layers panel. I'm gonna hit Command J to copy that layer and label it inner laser. That will be that white shape that we have right there. Haven't done anything else effects wise, except for, of course, the Gaussian blur, or Gaussian blur. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. All right, click back on the main laser panel, layer, and go to right click, blending options, outer glow. Change it to that red color. I think that matches really well with the blue contrast of the photo. And then make sure you have the anti-alias on there. Click OK. You can already see from here that we have that cool laser effect. Now you could be thinking, okay, we're done here, but I think we can do a little more. Let's go ahead and do Control J, copy that layer with those effects as well. We're gonna put another blur, Gaussian blur, and change the pixel radius to 15. All right, it's looking pretty good. But we should put in some bottom glow here, create a new layer. And for that, we're going to use the brush tool. And we're going to select a soft brush, unlike the hard one we used previously, and change the size of that to 200. Make sure that color is the same red color as we had before, just that top right corner. And then click. And if we hit Command T while using the selection tool, we can hold Shift and drag that new brush shape so it looks like it's beaming right down to the ground. Change the blending mode to screen and the opacity to 70%. Now if you hold Option, you can drag over that same brush effect that we just created, and now we have two of them. And Photoshop and the Layers panel already creates a layer copy for you. And then I'm going to select everything we did for the entire laser, click that file as a group, and rename it laser. Going to deselect and create an adjustment layer, gradient map. And what this is going to do is create a mask that we're going to then hide and then brush out the color. So we're going to reverse it so it goes from black to red, change the location of the red to 50. Click OK. And then if you hit Command I, that will invert it, and now it's gone. But to bring it out, we're going to use a brush and make sure the white is selected for your foreground color, those little white and black boxes there. If you click and hold Shift, drag that over to where I think the red would look best. That creates a straight line, and I'll just put one in the front as well. Blur, Gaussian blur. Change that. And then I'm going to change the opacity to 70%. So it's not quite as strong. Maybe 90%. All right, that's looking pretty good. We're going to add another effect and do the same thing as we did before, except for this time I want a bright, more of a bright white effect. So we're going to change the brightness and contrast here, raising that brightness, raising the contrast to get those shadows. And then once again, Command I to invert. And we will use the brush tool, do the same exact thing we just did before, except for this time we'll be going to be bringing out a brighter layer to get a white glow. Put that same Gaussian blur on, except for this time the radius, and change that to 50. All right, and that's it. And go ahead and change the effect of that background layer to change the brightness just a little bit more, but it's just personal preference at this point. The laser effect is done, and we'll just finish up this photo like so. I think that looks pretty good right there. Here's the before and after, just so you can see the difference. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to change the color of the laser. So let's do a blue one. We're gonna click on the main laser layer and go right into that outer glow effect that we put on it, and pick a blue color here. You can see the highlighted color label. Would you do Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste that new color number into every part of the laser that we colored into red. So we're just changing that red color into a blue color. The only difference is those bottom brushes that we use for that glow effect. We're gonna have to create new brushes for that as well. So I'm gonna deselect those, create a new layer, label it bottom glow blue, and it comes up kind of like a pink color, which is okay because you can see the gradient map that we have above it is giving it that color, but it is blue. We'll resize it. Let me lock these layers because I keep grabbing it. We'll click on that, Option or Alt drag over. Now we have our two glows. Change the color, that gradient map to blue. Click OK. And let me put that screen overlay on those bottom glows. Choose the opacity to 70%. All right, and there's the blue effect. All right, guys, same drill here. I'm gonna fast forward this one, and we're gonna get the purple color going on this next laser. All right, and that is it. Thanks for joining me, guys.